Yeah, fellas, welcome to the show. I had a dream this morning that, well, actually, in real life, it was about a month and a half ago. I was working with one of the personal trainers in my town, a young lady that I knew that taught aerobics at the same time I was teaching, and I was helping her, develop some marketing stuff for her business. So the thing I do is I coach uh, personal trainers because I've done that, been successful at it. So anyway, in my dream, I was someplace. Dreams are weird. They put you in these different environments. And I told this girl that I'm also a dating coach, and she was fascinated. People always get fascinated when I tell them I'm a dating coach. They go, "Really?" They want to know more about it, what I do. And anyway, I was at some place, and the same girl that I was coaching was suddenly teaching a class in dating. She had, taken my ideas and stuff like that. So I was at the place, and I was supposed to fly somewhere. You know how dreams are; you shift around. And that girl, actually, I was going to go into her lecture, see what she was doing, and I did that. And she noticed me, and I never saw the lecture. Then the dream shifted, and I was someplace, and they were asking me to teach her class because she couldn't come. Somebody was asking me that because I just happened to be a dating coach, and somehow they knew that. So I went into this classroom, and the guy, he got everybody into the class. It was men and women too, and he locked the door, and I had no idea what I was going to do. All of a sudden, bam! It all flooded out. I walked to the board, start writing and teaching. So the elements that I was teaching were the basics of the game. And on the board I put number one, you got to have good, strong inner game. In the area of inner game, you got to have confidence. So I went through some confidence building stuff, and we did some exercise where you take a partner, a woman and a man, and you have them look each other in the eye, and you do the hand following thing without looking at their hand. Okay, whatever they do, you mirror. I don't know if you guys have ever done those exercises. It's actually from acting class, and they do that in public speaking class and stuff like that. It was the class. The workshop was beautiful. So in the area of inner game, you really got to have your confidence, because women love confident men. If you don't have confidence in yourself, it's going to show in everything you do. Last night I was every now and then I will do a search on my screen name, Player Spring, and I'll look for places that are, got my stuff illegally, and I'll get rid of it. That's why my sales have gone up. And I came across this. I came across the PUA hate site dudes, and I stopped, and I was going to send them a video. They said something about what did they say? Oh, that whole sign generator thing. So I went and got the girl who's in that sign, say probably Player Spring. I got all of her other photographs, and then I went and I opened up some of her emails to me. I read those and all this other kind of stuff. Then I showed other photographs of women, pretty ones that I've been with, because someone else said. And then talking to a light bulb on there, and he said those guys are crazy, and I realized, yeah, they are kind of weird over there. So I'm looking at other stuff that's under my name, and I saw this something called direct dating. And I said, what's direct dating? And I went and looked at this guy named Sasha, and Mode 1 was over there with David X. And I went on the site and looked at some of the posts and stuff like that. And direct dating is basically Mode 1, where you go up to a girl and you tell her you love her, basically. You tell her she's beautiful, and you just gotta get to know her, okay? And I remember direct dating because when I first got on the internet, started teaching, I'll get back to confidence in a minute. There's a tie-in here. One of the guys on that weird site said I ramble a lot, and I do ramble. That's how people talk in life. We're not little robots that go A1, A2, A3. We converse. and conversation goes all around in a circular. So if I tend to ramble to you fellas, that's why I'm doing real conversation with you, like we would if we were out there in public, like you saw the conversation with Jay. We just kind of went on different subjects. So anyway, I went to the direct dating site, and their ideology is to walk up to a woman and tell her, you know, that she's beautiful or whatever. Okay? They don't believe in prepping the guy, getting his, you know, teach him confidence skills, and we'll go into the next area and outer game stuff and all that kind of stuff. Just walk up and say that. And when I first came online, they had there was no pickup artists when I came online, by the way, fellas. There was no PUAs. Okay, they came out in about 2005, 2004, 2005. We're going back to 2001 when I was in the whole community, when I was on the Pimps Network, then 2002 when I was on So Suave, and all the way up through. Okay, so there were all these different dating styles. I got lumped into the direct dating, or direct style. Sorry, direct style. It was called direct. It wasn't. They didn't attach the word dating to it to coin it. So there was either, God, I forgot what the other one was. It was this other style or direct, and direct was the more masculine of the approaches. The other style was indirect, indirect and direct. Okay, indirect is you come in sideways and use like an opinion opener. And that's how, you know, PUA got built, is from indirect. Okay? Indirect was more of a feminine way, more of a passive way, more of a sideways thing. And I had no problem with coming in sideways. In fact, I think if you look at what I talk about, what I talk about is coming in sideways anyway. Just not using some canned shit, but make up shit on the spot. Okay? Because that's what you do in the real streets. So my style that I actually push is a combination of the two. You know, we're masculine, we're direct, but we don't go up and profess our love to them. You know, that's not one of the things that we do here. We don't go up and, you know, we don't give our power away. So we're actually a little bit more of the indirect. Direct, indirect, if we can call it like that. I don't know. It is hard to figure this shit out, what these guys are doing, but that's their thing. Okay, I don't want to match my stuff to their stuff. What I'm trying to do here. So anyway, I woke up this morning after dreaming this stuff and started thinking, you know, I wonder how many people are successful by going up to a girl and say, hey, you're beautiful, and I would really like to get to know you. And I thought about it, I said, that's not really that bad. You are giving your power away, but you could always get it back later on. I'm thinking, you know, somebody who's done that, write to me. Let me know what your success rate is on that. I'm reading the success rate of the beginners on Sasha's site, and it's not good. But there are people that are having some success. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. What I was going to tie in together was confidence skills. Okay, if these guys had more confidence when they stepped up and weren't so nervous, some of the ones that were getting shut down would have what it takes to make that work. Because women don't judge a man always by his looks. Okay, even a little guy with a big old brainiac head and a little tiny little face down here and a skinny little pencil arms, you know, she might go for that. It's still a numbers thing. All the stuff except what I do is a numbers thing. I haven't seen anybody else. I think Mode is actually switching over to eye contact now. I don't know, but I've heard that. So, but you know, mine is all about, it's 100% basically. If you can open your mouth and not blow it, because she's choosing. If she's looking you in the eye, it's all about that. And if you have the right confidence, and as I go into the second part on the inner game, you got to have conversation skills. You got to be able to talk to a girl. If you're nervous talking to a girl and uncomfortable, she's going to become nervous and uncomfortable. Now, there's one thing that I like that Sasha put out was you want to find out 10 good things or 10 extraordinary things about her. And one guy was doing it in 10 or 15 minutes. And that's way too fast. That's interrogation. Okay? In 10 or 15 minutes, you might find out 1 or 2 things. Because you want to learn to flush, as I talk about conversation skills, you want to learn to flush everything out. Okay? You got to learn to follow every breadcrumb of each subject till you sucked it dry. Imagine a water bottle that you just suck all the way dry. It's all sucked in and squished. You want to squeeze everything you can out of every every conversation trail that she starts. It's like a tree. Your basic conversation. Okay, she talks about, let's say, one aspect of her childhood was she liked to roller skate. And you take that and it branches out. How did you get started? Where have you done it competitively? How long have you been doing it? What attracted you to roller skating? You think of everything you can, anything that would actually interest you as a human being. And that's where you got to learn to stop being dogs. Okay? Stop being so desperate. Stop being some fucked up geeks. Geeks. You guys know what a geek is? A geek is actually someone who bites off chicken heads. But we've kind of changed that movement to creepies. Creepy dudes. Creepy guys can only think from here. They don't even think about the other person as a human being. They just want to get laid so bad, and they're creepy. Almost like serial rapist types. You don't want to rush through a conversation. You want to enjoy the conversation because there's flavor there. So you guys who hate conversation skills, you're the creepy people. If you hate conversation right now, then you're one of the creepy ones. I'm not joking. I'm being serious with you. You're creepy. Because that's how you can come across to everyone else. Look at your life. See if they're trying to come over, girls trying to come over, because they know you're such a good conversationalist and a good listener that they want to come over. I would add under inner game is masculinity as the next part, being very masculine. One fella, he was afraid he had lost a girl because he had he described this incredible date he had with her. He was using flowery language and trying to be really super cool in his writing and stuff. And then at the end of it, the female, he got the female to get ready for sex, but there's nowhere to go. Now, he had his own place, but he had roommates back there, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he lived with his mom if he didn't want to tell him, but I don't know. But he got the girl ready for sex, and nowhere to go. I don't know why she didn't suggest. He didn't suggest her place then. But then later on in the whole thing, it wasn't a direct dating pickup thing because he knew the girl's sister, or someone that he knew. So I was kind of disappointed there. But so they made out. They went to the movies. They made out some more. Then they finally figured out, okay, well, let's go to my sister's house. And they made out there, and they laid down, and he rubbed her pussy, and, threw her underwear, shit like that. Got her all hot and bothered, basically, and didn't seal the deal. Because he was talking about, but this girl's incredible. So that's the problem that I have when you put a girl on a pedestal. She was so incredible. I didn't want to fuck her in a car. I didn't want to fuck her cheaply. I wanted to just fuck the goddamn pussy because that's what she wanted. She even consented to do it in the car. And somehow he just kind of talked his way out of it. She wanted to get fucked. Period. So he put himself out of player mode into the dater mode and the guy that wants to marry this girl. So now she's going to play him differently. And of course, she did. Well, he kind of deserved it. He didn't text her the next day. He waited. He said, I don't want to appear needy. I'm afraid of appearing needy. A man is not afraid. I've called chicks the same night they gave me their number after I left the club if I didn't leave with them. And many of them came over after that. Okay? Calling, hey, it was nice meeting you. Let's do coffee sometime. Click. Give them a license message when they get to their cars. They're good to go. Okay? Oftentimes they call back and say, well, that was really thoughtful. And I get talking to them. So what are you going to do when you drop your friends off? Well, why don't you come by my place? They know what I want. They knew exactly what I wanted. And oftentimes it worked. Okay? Depending on if they had kids or not. Some of them say, well, why don't you come over here? Of course I came. It's pussy. Alright? Number 2. You gotta have your outer game down, fellas. Outer game. Everything is tied in together. So it is on the inside, so it is on the outside. So if your confidence is there, the way you walk is going to be confident. The way you stand is going to be confident. Your vocal, which is part of your outer, because you project it outwards, is going to be confident. You're going to talk like a confident motherfucker, not a nervous, insecure motherfucker. Okay? Not a nerd, a geek, a creepy fuck. Creepy fucks have no confidence. That's one of the things that makes them creepy. So your outer game will show up, and also in the way that you dress for the game. Okay? Creepy people don't see how they're presenting themselves. I'm actually working with a black one right now, coaching. And he's had nerves to write to me and Jovina, oh, but my style is my own. And they're also stuck on stupid. They're stuck on stupid. They don't want to let go of their shit that they think they identify with, that identifies them. I'm trying to teach the motherfucker, well, let's re-identify you, because who you are is not working. Okay? Now, the other part of outer game also, though, is your car. Yeah. When you have a nice car, women notice. I'm sorry. I don't like to be cheap. And I didn't use a fancy car when I was in the game, because I had everything else. But if I had even had a badass car, that would have actually made my game even better, though, fellas. So it does improve your game to have a bad car. The final area is, of course, sex skills. You got to know how to fuck. You really got to know how to fuck. You got to know how to put her ass to sleep in bed. If you're not giving her good sex, think of how, okay, you guys who are amped up to get some pussy, you guys, that's like 90%, at least 90% of you, all you want to do is get your dick wet. Let's say the girl is in a sexy outfit and she invites you over, and she's just stretching all over the place and bending all over the place. Your dick is like, bang! And then she sends you home. That's what it's like for them. You give her some level B sex, or level C sex, or D sex, some zeta sex. That's what it's like for them. So fucking disappointing. She can't get off now. Okay, she can get off of B sex. B sex is just okay. It's just okay. It was a good nut. Nothing special. Nothing that really rocked her world. So you gotta learn how to have the sex skills, fellas. When you learn how to have the sex skills, women will stick to you. That's one of the things that people complain about. Women don't, they cheat on them and they won't stick to them. We know the person that called me about it. I want to tell them, because you ain't fucking your females right. Okay? Now, a lot of guys think it's all about eating the pussy, like this guy. He's a black dude. He's not really he's a black dude on the outside. We call them Oreos. They're black on the outside, white on the inside. Even in his business of comedy, he dresses like a white guy. Most black comedians, they show up tabbed out. They're dressed. He shows up. White guys, you guys notice that they show up in jeans and a t-shirt. Just relax, it's comfortable, they feel good. Okay, yeah. So what makes him feel good is being relaxed, jeans, t-shirt, and a hoodie. Anyway, I'm not going to rag on the brother, but it shows. Okay? He's intimidated by one of my ex-girlfriends. He likes to eat pussy, though. So that's the only thing he did for her, was eat her pussy. Didn't lay the pipe, because he was afraid his sex skills weren't good enough. I explained to him, never mind, you guys don't need all that, but your sex skills are a major part of your game. Okay, because it also gives you confidence. When you know you can put a girl to sleep, like when I'm standing in the club, and in the African American communities I talked about before, we have our biracial people, and women love the biracial dudes. Look how they love Obama. So, I'm standing next to a biracial dude, and when I look at a girl and we're looking at the same chick, I beam out of my eyes by the confidence I have, because I know I can put her ass to sleep. Okay, because I got that kind of mind. I'm gonna figure out. Okay, I know I tune into a girl's body, and when I'm touching her, if something doesn't feel good, I can tell. Usually, most times I can tell. Okay, if I can't tell, I'll ask. And that's where most guys are stupid. They won't ask. Does that feel good, baby? You want a little faster or a little slower? If I'm just touching her clit, I know where to touch them. I know exactly where to touch them inside. Everything. I've learned. I've taught myself all that stuff. That's what I was reading when I was 19 years of age. Was it 18? 18, 19, 20, all through my early parts. And I practiced on my ex-wife. So I got damn good at it. Okay? And then I went off into my world. So anyway, sex skills. That's number 3, fellas. All right? So I've given you today 3 areas that you need to work on. Inner game, outer game, sex skills. Get those, and you will have a game. Peace.